3 minutes after 3 o'clock here on AM 1410 WRMN in Elgin. Boy, that 2 minutes really makes a difference. I feel like I'm late and I'm rushed and I'm in a hurry, and we have to get Amy out of the studio and got to get Laura Dion-Jones in here. By the way, it is Wednesday, 3 o'clock, and it's time for the Laura Dion-Jones Show. Guys, want to lose weight fast, get rich quick, look young forever. Sorry, I got distracted. I shouldn't get distracted here on the radio. It's the Laura Dion-Jones Show. Laura, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Mikey. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Are you totally sure it's spring?
I'm positive it's spring. At least I looked on the calendar and it said, hello, welcome to spring. That was on Sunday.
Wildly unpredictable weather? You sure it's spring?
Sometimes it snows until the Cubs win. So sometimes it snows until about June.
Sure.
Could we trash Dancing with the Stars?
We can do anything. Have you seen Celebrity Apprentice?
No.
See, that's the one I watch.
Why, are they getting fisticuffs there?
Well, it's Celebrity Apprentice. It has Gary Busey on it.
And Meatloaf.
And Meatloaf. What else could you want in a show, right?
Great
And who else?
Oh, my goodness.
No
The
fashion.
girls. Tell me the girls.
I
Star? Is she the one on, or is that
Star Jones is on it. Yep, Star Jones
one
is
who's
on it.
criticizing her? That Mimi?
Okay, see, we do
Mimi?
have some listeners. We do
Yeah.
have some watchers of the show.
And David Cassidy, but I think he was eliminated right off the bat, wasn't he?
He was the first one to go.
Yeah.
At David Cassidy.
And the baseball
Jose
player,
Canseco?
Mark McGuire.
Jose Canseco.
Okay, sorry, it's going
Yep,
Jose.
Jose Canseco's on there.
I should tune into that. I love entrepreneurial things.
Nikki Taylor is on there.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, she did? I like her sister.
She went out honorably, though. She was the project manager. They didn't win the project, and she didn't throw anyone under the bus. She said, I was in charge. It's my fault. Don't send these two other people home. Don't send anyone home. It's my responsibility, and I'm going home.
Nikki Taylor, the supermodel, she really went through a tough time. She was in that accident in Georgia. It almost killed her. And she's adorable.
She is, absolutely.
Well,
So, Dancing with the Stars, I don't really watch that, but Celebrity Apprentice, I'm kind of hooked. So.
Right.
okay, we won't talk about Dancing with the Stars then. We'll let that one go.
It's the Laura Dion-Jones Show.
But I don't want to get anybody mad at me. I just, Wendy Williams is on. You know Wendy Williams, and I like Wendy Williams.
Uh-huh.
Sister lost her rhythm.
Really?
I don't know what she did. You know what Carrie Ann Inaba said? She told her to unleash the beat. She says, you have fear in your eyes and left your personality at home. Come out next time and really sell it. Now, Wendy Williams, come on. Okay?
I've never heard Carrie Ann and Abba said without an accent, so it doesn't sound Carrie Ann and Abba. You have to say it like whatever their names are. Yeah, you never said it in a normal way.
Well, you know something? They gave, what's her name, 50-1 odds in Vegas.
Oh, they're giving odds on this now,
Oh,
are
they have odds. They said
Really?
Kirstie Alley's going to be the winner.
No.
Yeah, gag.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was like, blech.
I like Kirstie Alley.
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. She just kind of gets on my nerves a little because I guarantee you she's going to lose weight. And then within 6 months, if she doesn't hook up with Maxim, it's going to be all back on.
I'm going to hook up with Maxim.
Hook up with him, like have him come to her house 5 days a week or move in to dance with her and keep her in shape because she is definitely going to lose weight.
I didn't know they were dating. I see what you're saying.
They're not yet, but you could see it in their eyes. You could see it in, oh, yeah.
Wow.
This is going to be a hot thing here. How many weeks do they go? How many weeks do they dance?
At least 13.
Okay. I predict
Really?
that there will be an item.
Should we call the Inquirer now?
TMZ.
Good, yeah,
It's
TMZ.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, it's a hot show.
Well, you know something in the
Can
studio.
you dance on that if they called you after your new
After
knee?
my knee replacement, you know what? I want to do the pads dance next year, but I don't want to say who I want for a partner.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep that
sign
quiet.
up
But
quickly,
I know
yeah.
I'll tell you who my coaches are going to be: Tommy Giacchino and Gregory Day,
There you go.
2 world champion ballroom dancers. So
They were on the show.
yeah, so those are going to be
Start
our
your own
coaches.
show, Dancing with New Knees.
Dancing with
Yeah.
new knees. Yeah, I can't wait. Next Thursday. Next Thursday's the day.
Can I ask
your
you
new
something
knee.
about your surgery?
Okay.
Knee replacement. Are they taking an old one out?
Here's what a friend of mine at the club said.
Uh-huh.
Look at it this way, Laura. They're going to amputate your knee.
Yeah, they're
That's exactly what they do. They got it below the joint and above the joint, and they have a seminar a couple weeks before surgery in orientation, and they let you hold the parts
Get out.
so you could see what they're going to put in and
The
how
parts
they're going to
they're
work.
putting in you.
Titanium, dipped in gold.
Do you get to keep your old parts?
No, they said I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah.
But they take out the whole knee. I'm getting a total. So if you guys call me next week, Thursday afternoon, Friday afternoon, I might not be coherent.
Are they all dipped in gold, or is it just because you're the diva?
Oh, it's because two reasons. A, I'm the diva because I'm the div. And second, because I'm allergic to nickel, and they dip them in gold ceramic.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's nickel evidently in titanium. Sniff, sniff. So I'm scared. I'm scared. Come on.
You've had similar things before, haven't you?
Yeah, and it was a nightmare.
Okay.
The rehab was a nightmare. They promised me this time it won't be.
How long ago was that first time?
Summer of '09. They had to take me back in a month later to anesthetize me and re-break the tissue.
Stop.
Oh, you think I'm kidding you?
No, I just want you to stop.
2% of the population are fast healers. I'm a fast healer, as luck would have it, which is good most of the time, except in a knee replacement when you develop scar tissue and you lose 10 degrees a day between therapy. So this was hideous. So they promised me this time it'll be better. We'll see.
Fast track is what they put you on.
Yeah, George over there is looking at his watch, so we better hustle along here.
That's right.
In the studio with us today are Mike Hunziker, one of my favorite guy pals, Jeff Myers, my amazing co-host, and of course, our YouTube camera girl, Valerie the Swan. And our special in-studio guests today are Tish Paul, candidate for Elgin City Council, and Ken Miller, one of Naperville's mayoral candidates. You have a politician look. You have a fashion girl look.
Thank you.
Anyway, meanwhile, back at the WRMN Ranch, Laura's today's show is brought to you by...
Well, the good folks, of course, at the Taylor YMCA. We can always go on with great things going on there, of course. As you know, 50 North McLean Boulevard. You know that, 888-7410 with 847 area code. That's the phone number. So you're thinking of working out. Of course, the EBLers have been there throughout the many months. They know what a great facility the Taylor YMCA is. So head out that way, all right?
And...
Also, Dr. Claire Leyes, posture is perfect for the YouTube camera there. Claire Leyes, did you see Claire this week?
No, next week.
Next week, just before your...
Day before.
Oh, I haven't. Well, she'll have the best posture for a new knee in the history of the concept because she sees Claire Leyes the day before. 847-888-9988. Her location, of course, 2001 Larkin Avenue. And Claire takes care of all patients. You know, all of us could, work on the posture and go in there from time
I want her
to
to bring the needles into town and give me some acupuncture for the pain. She's excellent at that.
You are
Why do you think I go see her? She needles me up once, twice a month.
That's our live read right there. 888-9988. Dr. Claire Leyes.
She needles me up once or twice a month.
That's right.
She said go on the billboard.
Medically speaking, that's good. Post that in the
In
green
layman's terms, acupuncture. Listen, and we'd also like to thank snobhounds.com, a canine clothing company. You know the drill. Think Nike meets Donna Karen, but for canines. And Snobhounds is real environmental protection wear for canines, and Casey Tool, an automotive specialty tool company, available through your Snap-on mobile tool distributor. And a special thank you to Casey for making this show and all of our shows possible. Time for our quote of the week. Here we go. Who said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small"?
Ooh,
hold it.
Okay. Well, Ken knows this.
The other day never mind.
Yeah, I know where you have their long distinctions. Go ahead.
There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than one you are capable of living.
Randy Newman.
No.
That's good. Ozzie Guillen.
NM.
Nathaniel.
South African.
Nelson
Mandela.
Mandela. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. Good quote, eh? Mm-hmm. So here's the segue. Come find the life you are capable of living and lose all your unhealthy, unwanted weight by committing to ConFit with Elgin's Biggest Loser 5 at Elgin Community College beginning June 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. for 8 weeks. EBL comes to ECC, and you are all invited. What better time to get started on your new health and fitness plan than the beginning of summer? EBL will help you sail right through all those backyard barbecues, parties, festivals, graduations, communions, you name it, without gaining any more weight. Trust me on this one. And for all the Elgin's Biggest Loser alums, we'll have a mini EBL 4.5 weigh-in, kind of informal, hopefully at the Y in between, because next week is the last one. Is the last weigh-in for EBL 4. So we will have an interim until EBL 5 starts at ECC on June 1st. Okay?
Sounds like a good plan.
I hope so. We're already over 1,500 pounds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
144 people were over 1,500 pounds, so I'm hoping. I don't know if we're going to make a ton, like 2,000. Okay, let's see. Now it's time for today's special guest. Let's give a warm LDJ welcome to none other than Tish Paul, candidate for Elgin City Council. Welcome, Tish. Where's our clapping?
I wasn't prepared for it. It's hard for
I thought
me
you
to
had
prepare
that stuff at your fingertips.
I do.
Hello, Laura.
How are you? I'm surprised that you're a Michigan native. I love Michigan.
beautiful state.
It's so outdoorsy, and we were talking in the green room about hang gliding off of Sleeping Bear Dunes and all kinds of things.
I haven't done that yet, but
you've been to Sleeping Bear Dunes.
yes.
Listen, tell us a little bit about your background, for those of us in Elgin who don't really know all that much about your background.
Sure. I moved to Elgin about 12 years ago from Michigan, as you indicated, and I have about 16 years of local government management experience, including 9 years working for the city of Elgin. The other 7 years I worked for the city of Kalamazoo, Michigan, and yes, there really is a Kalamazoo.
Where they make the cereal?
Actually, that's just east of there in Battle Creek, Michigan, where they make cereal.
Right here, it's around Pew.
Yeah, Kellogg's and Post are located in Battle Creek. And I have a bachelor's degree in government from the University of Notre Dame, so go Fighting Irish. And,
Impressive, is it not?
Thank you.
Oh, you
And
lost the other day. Sorry.
Oh, Jeff.
You would bring that up.
you would bring that up.
Should go Notre Dame.
Not that he's rubbing it in or
Between
anything.
seasons.
Turn off Jeff's mic.
Who did they lose to?
I'm not sure.
Who
I
did they
didn't
lose?
follow.
They was Sunday night. They
You
lost.
should know, Jeffrey.
Oh, they
VMI?
I don't know. They lost somebody they should have beat. Who?
Somebody.
Florida State. Yeah, Florida State. Sunday night.
Okay.
And then I have a master's degree in public administration from Northern Illinois University. So
They
lost too.
They didn't go to
George.
the dance. Dancing.
Jeez Louise.
But, between those, my practical experience and my educational background, know a whole lot about local government administration and management and what goes on at the local level. I've really enjoyed being actively involved in Elgin since I've lived here. It's a great community. I think it has a lot to offer. I certainly think it has its challenges, but I think it has more opportunities than challenges. Some of the other things I'm involved with, I chair the Waste Management and Recycling Work Group for the City of Elgin Sustainability Master Plan Committee, and I have served as president of the College Green Homeowners Association for the past 6 years. I'm a member of Progressive Baptist Church, just all over the place.
You sure are, girlfriend. I know that you were responsible for the CART program.
Yes.
That's ultra popular here, the
Yes,
recycling
yes.
CART program. Please tell us what else in the city you've accomplished thus far.
Well, that was probably one of the primary accomplishments. I've also been involved with a lot of special projects, a lot of the parking ban and parking projects that the city has implemented over the last probably 10 years or so, the odd-even parking, alternate side parking. I've been involved with those projects. I've been very involved with our fall leaf collection program at the city of Elgin. We've made some changes to that over the years, and very popular program for residents.
How many seats are up for re-election in the council?
There are 3 seats up right now.
Okay. What made you decide to run for Elgin City Council?
Well, again, as I stated earlier, I love Elgin. I think it has a lot to offer. I've enjoyed being actively involved here, and I think I can bring a new vision and fresh perspective to the city of Elgin's council and be an independent voice for our community, which I think is desperately needed.
In your opinion, what are the 3 most significant issues facing Elgin today?
I think the 3 most significant issues would be, first and foremost, bringing businesses and jobs to our community to put our folks back to work. Of course, this is a nationwide issue, but locally, Elgin has a very high, one of the highest unemployment rates in the whole state. And the key to really getting our economy going is putting people back to work. When people are working, they pay their bills, and generally the first bill that you pay when you are working is your mortgage. And when people are paying their mortgage, they're not in foreclosure.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's a
Vicious.
it's a very vicious cycle. And also, again, bringing businesses to our community is a great way to expand our revenue base, bring additional income to our community, especially when we're seeing declining revenues in other parts of our revenue stream, from property taxes, sales taxes. The riverboat revenues are down. So this is another way for us to get our revenues back up in our community.
How else would you work to help make Elgin even more fiscally responsible?
I think the city has done a very good job over the past few years, really looking inward to see how they can do things better. They've, of course, eliminated quite a few jobs over the past few years because, of course, personnel costs are, the big chunk of the general fund costs that the city incurs. But looking at how we can do things better, investing in better use of technology, consolidation of services, all of those things I think can really help us be more fiscally responsible. Just really looking outside of the box, and that's what I think I have a good feel for being a very outside of the box type person.
You seem to. You seem to. If elected, how would you face some of these challenges, especially putting people back to work?
Again, bringing businesses to our community, and I'm not opposed to using incentives. I know some people aren't necessarily crazy about incentives, but you really have to look at incentives as investment opportunities. You're investing in businesses coming to our community and looking at the long-term effect that they can have on our community in terms of bringing jobs here. And I know the City Council has oftentimes provided incentives to businesses that come here to even hire Elgin residents, which I'm definitely a fan of. They've, provided incentives, of $1,000 or $1,500 for every Elgin resident that they hire, which I think is important. It's not only important to get the businesses here, it's important to make sure that our residents are getting those jobs. So workforce development initiatives that are currently in place with the Chamber of Commerce and Elgin Community College to make sure that our folks are trained for the high-tech jobs that are coming here. But one of the things I think I would really like to see that hasn't really been talked about a lot is bringing manufacturing jobs back to our community. Those are jobs that, I think our community is trained for now and can jump right in. We don't have to worry about training them. And for every manufacturing job that's created in our community, there are about 5 or 6 additional jobs that are created to support those jobs. So it's again, a ripple effect of creating additional jobs in our community. Another area that I'd like to see us continue to do is look at green technology and bringing green industries to our community. I think it's the wave of the future. I think it only makes sense. I think it's a good investment opportunity. And just again, really thinking outside of the box and eventually getting more retail here so that people can shop here and keep those tax dollars local.
I know a company that would come here and create green jobs while feeding the residents of Elgin good, wholesome, organic, locally grown food and fish. And I've had him on my show, and I've introduced him to Dave Captain. And it's an organization from Flanagan, Illinois called Aqua Ranch. So if you look them up, and the guy's name is Miles Harston, and what Miles does is he has a totally contained system. It's hydroponic aquaculture where he raises tilapia in tanks, but he develops the fry, the little tilapia babies. He develops them totally 100% organic, hormone-free. And what happens is then the water from the tanks circulates throughout the beds, the produce beds, the lettuce, the whatever beds, and then it the water picks up the nutrients that it needs from the plants. It goes through an aerator, and then it goes back into the tanks with the fish. So it's an entirely enclosed system that loses 1 to 2% of water a month, whereas traditional fish farms lose about 25% of water a week. Don't quote me, but it's something like that. And also, one of the things that creates the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico is because of the runoff from a lot of these fish farms, which a lot of people don't know. When they have the waste, they just dump it in the stream takes it to the river takes it down to the Mississippi, and bada bing, there it is. And it's the size of Texas in the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of people aren't aware of this. And I would so love to see Miles come and present this to the city council and to the mayor, because there's a perfect spot for it.
It sounds fascinating. And actually, again, with the city's sustainability master plan, that might even be something to present to some of those work groups as well.
So, maybe after the show you can give me some tips on where I can direct Miles, where he can begin this, because it would, it's going to take money. It's going to take an investment. It's going to take some kind of a grant. But maybe if you got the Grand Vic Foundation together and, the state, because you have wonderful buildings here. There's something called, isn't it the Cook Book Manufacturing? What is that building called?
DC Cook.
That's what we looked at, because first we were thinking the old Simpson Electric, and then Dave Captain, because he's a scientist, and he said no because it was too, what's the word, contaminated?
Polluted, yeah.
Polluted. And you wouldn't want to bring that pure of a system into that environment. But the
Right.
CD Cook,
DC Cook.
that was close.
Yeah.
That facility would be perfect. You would put look at the tremendous amount of people you would put back to work. You talk about, the food coming 2 blocks instead of 2,000 miles. It's going to all be right here. And I brought this up last year, and I'm convinced that you guys need
Sounds
to have that. You
fascinating.
guys need to have that in Elgin. And if you guys want to get together and go to Flanagan, Illinois to tour Miles's facility, he would love to have you.
Definitely want to get that information from you.
How much greener can you get than that? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think you can get too much greener unless you're growing it in your own yard.
Which you kind of would be. Tell us a little bit more about what your ideas of having a strong, safe neighborhoods in Elgin while our country's economy continues to slide along with a lot of the closures and decreased property values.
Again, getting people back to work so they can pay their bills and we don't have the foreclosure crisis is key. But in the meantime, until that happens, the city has passed an ordinance that takes effect April 1st to help perform safety inspections of foreclosed homes in neighborhoods. And I think it's going to be a really good program. Basically what will happen is every vacant home in our community, residential, this is only for residential properties. They'll be inspected to make sure that they're safe, structurally sound, that they're secured, so that because obviously the issue with empty houses in neighborhoods is they generally become a haven for illegal activity, gangs, drugs. Graffiti, all that stuff.
There's just no getting around it.
There's no getting around it. So I think this is the first step in trying to be proactive in preventing a lot of that stuff from happening. The second phase, I believe, is the city has quite a few grant programs and loan programs available to help homeowners, improve their property, help neighborhoods, improve their neighborhoods. I'd like to, see those continued and, eventually, when our revenues are better, see those expanded. Because I think it's crucial. Our neighborhoods are where our families live, work, and play, and people have to feel safe in their homes and feel safe in their neighborhoods. And Elgin's neighborhoods are really the jewel of our community, and each one is so unique and has its own different personality. I've been going to so many of the different neighborhood meetings over the past few months, and it's just really one of Elgin's strengths, and I think it's important that they remain a priority.
What's your biggest strength that separates you from the other candidates running for Elgin City Council?
Two things. My background in local government management, I think, gives me a head start on understanding the problems that we're facing. I won't have a learning curve. And second, and maybe even more important, is my independence. I'm an independent voice, and in everything that I've done in the community in terms of being a homeowners association president, very used to listening to people and understanding their needs, trying to meet their expectations, and making sure that they feel like I'm being accountable to them, and which is important as an elected official. And my independence in terms of not being beholden to any interest groups or being affiliated, or in terms of my vote, I vote my conscience and what I think is best for the community, not what is best for me necessarily personally, or what's best for a certain section of town. I have to look at the community as a whole and what's going to benefit Elgin as an entire community, which is very important, because I think a lot of people, as I've talked to them, don't feel represented. They don't feel like they're being heard.
Some of the business owners that I've talked to very recently, said the same thing. They don't feel that they're being heard by City Hall.
Yes.
And that they would like to see a little bit more of an initiative to promote what they have going on here. in Elgin to keep the small businesses that they do have here and to even attract more.
And to expand the small businesses that we have here, which I'm glad you brought that up, Laura, because in terms of job creation and revenue generation and growth, actually expansion of businesses that we currently have here has an even greater effect on our economy and is and a greater benefit in terms of job growth in our community than bringing new businesses to our community. So, you know, as we look at, of course, bringing new businesses to our community, I don't want to lose sight of the businesses that we have here to make sure that we retain them and encourage them to expand.
I know some people with small manufacturing companies that if the incentives were right, they would come here. And I had mentioned it to someone, and he said, well, we're just looking really for bigger businesses, you know, like the Swiss company with the windmills. I can't remember the name, but you know what I'm talking about. And I think personally that the small businesses and the entrepreneurs are more of a backbone than the really huge companies. Granted, they put more people to work, they bring more, you know, revenue or whatever, but I think that the backbone of the community is the small business and more entrepreneurial.
I agree, and actually small business growth in our community is, and actually even small business growth across the nation is projected to be providing, you know, the vast majority of job growth in our country. So we can't overlook our small businesses. They are very important to our community.
I agree. What else would you like to leave our listeners with? You got the floor.
I've got the floor.
Got the floor, girlfriend.
Well, I just want to, you know, emphasize the importance of voting in our local election. There's probably only 15 or 20% of our registered voters in Elgin participate in the local elections, and
Get out.
It's very important. You know, these are the folks that set your tax rate, determine the services that you receive, and in the case of voting for your school board or library board, these are the folks that are affecting the education that your children receive, and we have a great library.
You guys have a fabulous library.
We have a fabulous library. So all of these folks are folks that you're voting for in our local elections, and it's important to have your say. I think I can bring, again, as I said, a new vision, fresh perspective, and an independent voice to the city of Elgin. I've got the experience. I've got the vision and the willingness to listen and lead our community through the challenges that we're currently facing. And I ask for your vote on April 5th or during early voting. Yes, early voting goes through the 31st.
Now, let's have some personal questions. What news publications do you read? I'm always curious about people, what they read.
News publications that I read, of course, running for office right now, I read the Courier and I read the Daily Herald. I skim the Chicago Trib.
Cranes?
Not Cranes right now. Newsweek I might catch every now and then. Those are about
basically for local, more local issues.
For local, and then at night, you know, I watch MSNBC and CNN and
that
a lot
was
of
next.
those news
That's
shows.
what I was going to ask you next.
To catch up on any national stuff that I may have missed.
I think Piers Morgan has a good show. Not that I'm so fond of him, but I think he's got, you know, good topics, good interviews.
Yeah.
And who?
He won't be on tonight because Liz Taylor died and Larry King's replacing him.
I know, I'm crushed.
Tell me this.
I'm crushed.
So he'll miss his
When
show.
did Liz die?
Earlier today, a couple hours
George
ago.
told me earlier this morning, but then I've been busy and I haven't gotten into...
79 years old.
God bless her heart. How many husbands? 8 or 9?
I think 8.
8?
She married
9?
one of them twice.
Twice. Richard?
Yeah.
So what got her? What did her in?
Congestive heart failure.
No kidding.
She's been in the hospital for many months.
Oh, I know, but I thought
Beautiful
for sure
lady.
she'd pull out. Yeah.
And one of the things that, you know, aside from her being a phenomenal actress and just a real beauty, is her work in raising awareness and raising money for AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was really
She was very, very much an advocate.
the forefront of that. Yes, she was.
Yes.
Tell us 3 things quickly that no one else would know about you.
That I'm a Chocoholic.
Oh, join the club.
Let's see.
Chuck Anonymous.
I am a Chocoholic, and let's see, 3 things that no one else knows about me.
You eat Peeps at Easter.
I what?
You eat Peeps, those little yellow chicken,
I hate-
marshmallow
I
chickens
hate
at
those
Easter. I
things.
love those.
Oh, no.
That are covered with
No.
yellow sugar?
Mm-mm,
No?
Those are
They're
nasty.
multicolored now.
Those are nasty. That I'm a shoeaholic,
Oh.
and sometimes I could just be a real couch potato, and I look forward to that after the election.
I bet you do. Sometimes I look forward to being a couch potato, but it doesn't happen. Listen, I want to...
that I'm an only child.
You are?
Yes, I am.
No kidding. Your parents did a great job.
Hey, they figured after they had me, they possibly couldn't do any better.
Listen to this.
That's the way I look at it.
Good for you. I want to thank you, Tish Powell, for joining us on the Laura Dion-Jones Show today. I think it's been fun and informative.
Thank you, Laura.
And we wish you a much continued success, and I hope that
Appreciate
you win
it.
a seat. I think that we need people like you on the City Council here in
Thank
Elgin.
you.
Don't we,
Thank you.
boys?
Oh,
And
and
female boys, too.
congratulations.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
absolutely.
Well, you know what? It's nice to be one of the boys. I was always one of the boys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a girl. You know, Dave, she's how much more feminine can you get?
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm used to
However,
that.
I always hung with the boys. They were more fun, the more exciting. Got in more trouble.
And congratulations on your Image Award nomination.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, it's halftime, so before we go on, we'd like to thank our very special sponsors.
The Taylor Y coming your way, of course, where the EBLers will have the weigh-in tonight, will they not? And, of course, at the
Second
Y.
to last.
Second to last. We're charting it. Get your calendar up. But it's been such a great marriage that you've had with the Taylor Y and, of course, your EBLers. You've showcased the Taylor for much of our area and all the folks.
For a year.
For 15,000, well, about 1,500 pounds have been lost by 144 folks. Is that what you told us?
Yes, yes.
All those folks have been showcased right there, and it's been a great mix-up between the two, if you will. That's made in heaven, the Taylor Y. And, of course, they're located at 50 North McLean. That's the exact word I want to use, mix-up, but it's been a great combination. And 847-888-7410, the Taylor Y. Dr. Claire Oleas, everybody. Good posture. As you know, we always hear about Dr. Claire, who is well known in our Elgin area. She might have graduated from Boston University, but grew up right here and has gone on to an outstanding career as your favorite chiropractic at 2001 Larkin Avenue. That's Dr. Claire Oleas, 847-888-9988. Dr. Claire.
And a big thanks to Snobhounds and Casey Toole, weekly sponsors of ours, without whom our show would not be possible. You are listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show on WRMN 1410 AM. And if you want to tell us what you think, call in at 847-931-1410. And we have a quick little PSA here. The Elgin Citizens Police Academy is going to be starting every Wednesday, April 6th to June 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. And if you would like further information,
Can I do the phone number?
call Christy Schmidt at...
289-2588, I bet.
How did you know
Oh, well, she's well known.
that? Whose phone number is that?
That's Christy Schmidt.
Christy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Okay. Save this
Okay.
so we can announce it
Deal.
again.